Hello and welcome to another episode of our Speakeasy podcast. As always, I'm John.
And I'm Ken.
Welcome.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Good, man.
Good?
Ravens. We got to win.
You did?
Yes.
You guys look good.
Yeah, man. It gets the first half, I was a little...
Yeah.
You know, I was like
10-10.
It was tied. It was tied up. It was tied up. And I've been, and I have a thing, like, don't bet on your home team or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I've been dabbling. I've never done FanDuel before, and I've been having fun with it. And I keep
It's addicting, man.
I kept losing money, and like on little bets. But it was more like bets that were like, all right, this person has to score this amount of yards, and this has to score a touchdown, and it was more like combination.
Sure.
Because that's where you
That's where you get your money.
That's where you make the bigger money. This time around, I was like, let me do something a little bit more basic, but still pays out okay. So I had bet on Lamar to score 2 touchdowns.
On his feet? Like a rushing touchdown
Yeah.
himself? Nice.
Yes.
And he did?
And he did. And when he scored that second touchdown, I was like, yeah!
Cha-ching!
Yeah. So I won a couple $100 on that.
Sweet.
So
You know what's funny with these playoffs?
and I bet 30, by the way, so just so you know exactly what it was
Oh, wow.
on the return.
That's a
on
good
that.
return, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
Interesting. I have like who I'm rooting for, and then when the game starts and like halfway through the game it's that close, I start
Yeah.
like changing my mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, the favor's like tied or they're losing.
Yeah.
Like I almost want to see the upset now.
Yeah.
You know, even though I want like the Niners won last night, even though I'm rooting for the Niners to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Packers were like running that game, and
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh man, this would be an upset. This
What
is
was
pretty
that?
cool.
Like a field goal difference or something? Or no?
Yeah, and it
think it
was
was.
their
I didn't end up watching the whole thing, so.
the Packers kicker missed a field goal, and that was.
That could have been the
Yeah,
that could have been
that
the
would have been
overtime.
overtime.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and the Ravens, when it was 10-10 at half, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
man, it'd be a nice story to see Houston beat the Ravens.
No, it wouldn't be.
But, no,
Uh,
didn't happen.
I was excited. So we're right now we're recording this a little early, so we don't know who they're going to be playing yet next
Yeah,
Sunday.
today's Sunday. We got the Bucks and the Lions on probably in like a half hour.
And then we got the Chiefs and
The Chiefs and the Bills, which is
Bills.
always a good game.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I'm predicting a Ravens 49ers Super Bowl.
yeah, I'm hoping, and would be a repeat. Remember the Harbaugh?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that it's happened before.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That would be an entertaining game.
Yes, it would be. It would be. In other news, I've been holding on to this cigar blend, Joseph Magnus,
Joey
Magnus, for some time, and it's just like one of those ones where I was like, I don't know, I kind of just never opened. And today I was like, yeah, let's open up the Joseph Magnus. I've never had the cigar blend, and John's never had it either. So we said, that's what we're doing today. I think so.
We got some cigars. We're gonna light them up.
We don't have cigars. I don't have a cigar. Have we had this conversation? I'm not a big cigar guy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You know what it is? And like a lot of people do it. They're like, oh, cigars and bourbon. I'm like, I don't see the allure here. I don't see the appeal here, actually. I don't see why people like cigars and bourbon so
I
much.
just don't like cigars, period.
I'm not a big cigar guy.
I'd rather have a bourbon and a cigarette.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you're having, like, if you're any, like, when we have bourbon, we like to pick up on the notes.
Yeah.
And we like to say, okay, it's got notes of brown sugar or whatever you want to
Yes.
say, and vanilla or whatever. I feel like I enjoy doing that. And if I have a cigar,
It puts that taste in your mouth.
all you taste is like, I mean, I guess if I were to have a cigar and I got into it, I'd probably be just drinking like the cheaper bourbon.
Right.
So these cigar blend bourbons are really intended for actually,
A cigar.
yeah, you have them with your cigar. It's supposed to complement it well. Because it's a little bit more of that. A lot of times, it has a little bit more of that smokier taste. We've had a Starlight cigar blend, and we were talking about doing another one soon by Starlight too. It was a different combination of flavors, and I don't know. I think this is something that is probably a little bit more true to it, because it is like their most popular sell from Joseph Magnus.
Okay.
And apparently, if it does that well, then people are saying they're doing it right.
What's the proof on that?
This one in particular, so this is different. There are different batches. This is a batch 161, and this is coming in at 60.05 alcohol. So, which is what, 120.10 whatever proof or something. And this is batch 161, bottle 119. That's really irrelevant, but yeah. I don't know. Kind of looking forward to it. I think it's something cool to start off our episode. And like I said, another thing with cigars too, like I feel like when I've had cigars, like they linger in my mouth for like 5
For a
days.
long time.
And I hate that. I hate like things linger in my mouth.
And
I
they
hate,
stink.
Like, yeah, you know. Yeah. And plus, if you were like trying to have a cigar, like trying to hide it from your wife, you're never gonna be able to do that. 'Cause
Yeah,
you just
no.
like they just stink. You know.
And I like to inhale. I'm not Bill Clinton. I like to inhale. A cigar, you can't.
But he does
that.
like cigars.
Yeah.
Ask Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
But there we go. So let's get this nose, man. All right. Am I getting like that? I'm not really. I'm not getting like
I'm
a
not
true
getting a
smoky.
smoke.
No, not like anything
Not
smoky.
like a tobacco. I'm not, maybe.
Yeah. Little. I mean, it smells like it's boozy. I mean, at that percent though, it's gonna be
smells strong.
It's gonna be pretty boozy.
I'm not getting like a flavor. I'm not
I
getting
don't
much.
know. Now I am getting a
Yeah.
little bit of tobacco. I
Right?
think. I think I am. Raisins. Yeah.
I don't know. It's burning my nose hairs.
He's like, just drink it already. All right, let's give it a sip. Cheers, bud.
Easy.
Sorry.
Okay. It's strong in the throat, but it's nice on the tongue.
I like this.
I do pick up not so much as a smoky note, but yeah, as a little tobacco note.
But
definitely
it's
pick that
not
up.
as
It's not strong.
like we had that one from Starlight. Oh gosh.
Oh, here we go.
It was this one here and finished in Brazilian. So it was just
This is the Amberana.
yeah. This was the Amberana cigar batch, and I have another one that I just got recently. That's an Amberana rum that we may do. Maybe we'll do it in the next episode just to do a back to back on them. But yeah, this one I felt like this one we had a little bit more smoky, cigarish kind of like. I feel like if I was thinking cigar blends, I would think this was actually a little bit more true. The Starlight. After we're done with this, maybe we'll give it a little tiny sip just to do a comparison real quick on it. But I'm not going to revolve. The episode's not.
Mix
on
it with a little
Starlight.
bit of water.
A little water.
Yeah.
It's water from last week.
I don't know if the dropper's gonna work. Like, I like a big sip of water in my mouth.
Oh, I got you. I'll finish it with the water.
Definitely cuts the booze, which is good. And then the flavor's there.
You know, I've heard mixed reviews on Joseph Magnus cigar blend, and I know it varies from batch to batch and what's out there. This one, I don't know how it compares to the latest release. I think this one might be a couple years. This one's fantastic, but unless I confuse my bottles, but I don't know if I mixed them around. But whatever it is, this one I like. This is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like the booziness. I like the lingering.
I like when I put a little water in there. I like
Yeah.
that when I cut it down, I like the flavor better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put ice in this because I don't want
Yeah.
it cold. I want that.
You like that heat.
I like that heat,
Yeah.
but I would like it cut just a little bit.
Yeah, this is solid. Awesome. I could see why people like this.
Yeah.
Because that finish, it lingered. It's like, remember what we said about that Elijah
hangs
Craig?
out, yeah.
That C92, it hangs out.
Hangs out.
You can feel it in your mouth. It just stays with you, man.
Yeah. I would love to smoke a cigar now just to see if the flavor changes.
Yeah, does it change?
I'd get one of those skinny cigars with the wood tip.
Oh, like the Black and Milds?
Yeah, something like
or whatever.
Black cherry flavor.
Yeah, those were, interesting.
Yeah.
That's definitely like the younger years.
Yeah.
Where you're like, ooh, I like anything flavored, you know?
Yeah.
I want my boons.
Yeah.
Or my St. Ides Special Brew. Remember St. Ides Special Brew, man?
No.
Oh. Remember St. Ides?
No.
St. Ides Special Brew. It was like came in like a 24-ounce bottle or something. I don't know, something like that. So it was a pretty big bottle. And they had all these different flavors, and it was just like malt liquor, flavored malt liquor.
Yeah, no.
And it was like kiwi strawberry and like all these unique flavors, like tropical and everything. So, yeah, I don't want to say which years.
Get the door.
Oh yeah, no.
Amazon.
It's probably
The strippers are here?
No, let me tell you. Every night there's we get the alerts. I put my phone on vibrate, but we get the alerts because the deer.
Yeah, but that sounded like somebody rang your bell.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw the tracks pulling up. I'm like, what the hell's going on in the front lawn?
Yeah.
There was a lot of
We get a lot
tracks,
of
man.
deer,
Yeah.
so we get a ton of them.
I think they're sledding down the hill.
Yeah, so I put my phone on vibrate, so I don't hear it, but you can see like when I wake up in the morning and I'm on the can and I'm looking at my phone and I look at my old rings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
deer, setting the thing off like crazy. If we had it on all night, I'd be screwed. You know?
Yeah, you wouldn't sleep.
I'd be, damn deer, wake me up.
You have to come out with the shotgun, start shooting them.
But yeah, back to the Joseph Magnus. I'm happy we opened this one, man. I think it's it's good.
It's good.
I want to
An affordable bottle, a budget-friendly bottle, or
Yeah.
is this a little pricier?
definitely pricier.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely pricier. Like in the $180 something
Ooh.
range or something or whatever.
I'm gonna pour it back in.
John, you always make out coming here, bro.
I know.
It's kind of a fair exchange. He makes the trek out here all the time, you know, and
I get a sip of
and he gets some good bourbon every
and
time.
then I buy the $15 bottle. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, John brings the fighting cock.
Fighting cock.
He's like, I found this bourbon. I'm like, all right, I guess we could do it on the show.
Hey, but then we went to Heaven Hill. It was there.
Yes, we
was
learned
there.
something. We learned something. Yeah.
Fighting cock. I haven't touched it since.
Yeah. So John and I, you know, we've obviously known each other for quite some time and everything, and we've been in different things with working in restaurants. One of my first jobs, I guess you would say, was working with John at Jim Dandy's. Him and my brother were partners, and it was a restaurant, local restaurant, and they had it was basically barbecue and everything. They're still around. You go to Jim Dandy's in Nutley. There's one in Rutherford still in New Jersey, and that's where I kind of got my start. And then eventually I became an owner of the one in the Bar and Grill in Cedar Grove. So we've been in the restaurant industry for quite some time and everything, and we've seen a lot, and we've been through a lot, and we've done a lot. And
I mean, I started in there when I was 12 or 13, maybe 13. Just washing dishes for a little extra dough. And then, you know, my positions became higher and higher, and eventually got the opportunity to buy it, and I did.
Yeah.
Even before that, though, the one in Nutley, when I was going to college, there was an issue with it was just opening up, and there was an issue with people who can run it. And my old boss was like, hey, would you mind helping me get this up and going?
Yeah.
So I took I wasn't happy in college. I was going to William Patterson.
Yeah.
I asked my dad, I said, can I take a leave of absence from school for a semester?
Mm-hmm.
He said, sure. So, you know, I did that full time then, and it went from there. I never went back to school.
You never went back to school? I forgot
Never went
that. You
back.
never finished, huh?
But, you know, it took me off into the restaurant industry
Yeah.
for a brief period of my time.
And he had many regrets in life, and this was probably his number one regret.
Owning it or leaving college?
Or both.
Yeah, it was rough, man. You know what? It wasn't rough. It was fun. When you're 24, 25, and you got your restaurant, you're working hard. You don't have a family. It's fun. Then as you get older and you get married,
It's different.
and you're ready to have your kids,
You want to spend time with your family.
and you can't be at a restaurant 18 hours a day, 6
Yeah.
days a week.
Yeah. Your weekends aren't the same.
You start to
Your weekends are basically Mondays or Tuesdays or when the restaurants either close, like some restaurants do, they close on Mondays or Tuesdays, or you basically that's the day you take off and you get someone else to kind of run the shifts because it's not busy and you don't have to worry about things.
I mean,
as
luckily I had your brother, so we kind of split everything. We never really saw each other too much.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw each other, but you know, we did a couple days together, and then we split the rest so that we would have a day or two off
much. Yeah.
here or there.
Yeah.
But like I said, you get a family and you need your benefits. You want your sick time. You want your vacation time. So I found it best to just go work for the man and sell off the restaurant.
Yeah.
Now my kids are getting older. Everything's getting older.
He wants to open up a bourbon bar now.
Starting to get that itch a little bit.
He wants to open up a bourbon and beer bar.
Yeah, I would in a heartbeat, man. Would in a heartbeat.
Yeah, man, that's tough. It's tough. You know what? It was tough, too, from a business perspective and everything, which was difficult. I would say the one of the biggest blessings for me was not owning a restaurant local.
Yeah. Well, is that a blessing?
It was.
Because you always you had to trek.
It wasn't that bad. 15 minutes for me. It wasn't that bad.
All right.
Because a lot of that time I was living in Clifton, which was a little bit closer, I would say.
Okay.
So, but you know what the issue was? A lot of it was, and listen, it's not anyone's fault. It's not whatever. I had a lot of people I knew that came in, and I had a tendency to say, "Let me give you 10% off, 20% off, or it's on me, or whatever." And it became a little bit too much where I'm like, all right, I need to start making money. I'm not everyone's, supporter here. I gotta make money. So it was common when we worked over there. So the good thing was when I had my restaurant in Cedar Grove, I didn't know anyone. So I wasn't giving discounts like crazy and everything like that, Yeah,
I mean, mine was in my hometown.
Yes.
So you knew everybody.
Everyone.
And then you take care of the cops and the first responders.
Exactly.
And, after a while, you're like, man, I'm just not.
It's tough. It's a tough industry to be in if you're a generous person like we were, pretty generous with people. Oh yeah, I got you. Oh yeah.
And then you do it one time and you feel obligated to do it every time.
I know.
And
then
then certain people start looking for it.
Yeah.
And if you don't hook them up one time, they don't come back no more.
Yeah. I know. It's an interesting situation. So
yeah, and then even working after I sold, I still helped out in the Jim Danny's in Nutley, and when people come in that I know, I would go hide somewhere, or pretend I'm busy and say, "Hey, can you
do that?
Can you take them, please?"
Yes, exactly.
Not that they're looking for a discount,
yeah,
but I just don't want to feel obligated to be like, "Hey, man,
I know." Now, anyone that that watches these episodes that come to see you or something.
So you were never busy?
Although you're not working at the Nutley one anymore, right?
I put my retirement papers in.
Yeah, John, he was doing that for quite some time.
That was 30-something years.
Yeah. Did you get a severance?
Yeah. Nope. I got a thanks, guy. See ya.
Thanks. Here's a beer.
Yeah, I got a beer.
So we're not going to be getting any of those cool Jim Dandy beers, that we got once in a while.
Yeah, I'll still go.
Yeah. Well, such is life. So what was it? Maybe, I don't know, like 10 episodes, 12 episodes ago, I had mentioned to John, just like John has done for me as well. I had mentioned to John, I'm like, you got to check out The Bear, because we were restaurant guys. We've been in the industry for quite some time, and I'm like, you got to check it out, man. It's entertaining. It's just enough. It gives you just enough anxiety where it keeps you like alert the whole time,
And they were short episodes.
Yeah.
I wish they were longer.
So you watched it?
I binged it in probably 3 days. Seasons 1 and 2.
I told you, I'm like, it's bingeable. Yeah, it's definitely bingeable.
I didn't want it to end.
And there's more coming.
Yeah.
So John had done it for me when we with Yellowstone, and he's like, you got to watch Yellowstone. He even let me his account. Was it Peacock or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still watch it here and there. I actually used it for a football game not too long ago.
Yeah, use it up.
I was like, I'm like, wait, you have to watch it on Peacock?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, John's account. Let me use it real quick.
Yeah. Use that.
I'm like, he won't care if I watch football.
I don't care what you watch. Watch WWE, man. They're on.
Nah, I don't really watch too much on there. But if there's something like that, they're only airing it there, and I gotta watch, and I want to watch the game, then I'm kind of like, all right, So yes, I got into the Yellowstone, but yeah, we got into The Bear, and
it's freaking good, man. And I'm almost sorry I waited so long.
Yeah,
but I'm happy at the same time because I did get to binge. All that time.
Yeah.
That was really good.
It's cool to binge. It's cool. It's like it's almost like it's the only thing that sucks about binging sometimes though.
It ends too fast.
It's like it ends too fast, and then it sucks even more when you got to wait like another year before you get to see it again. Although I felt like there wasn't a huge. Maybe it's because I watched The Bear a little while after already. It was out for some time before I watched it for the first time.
I think it's going to be a little bit before the third season comes back. I don't even think they started filming yet. I thought I heard November.
Yeah.
Maybe end of summer. But
I think one of the best scenes, though, not to give too much away, was the birthday party episode. and he drops his what are these, like his pills inside the Kool-Aid,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
ecto cooler.
yeah. Oh yeah, the kid's birthday party.
Yeah. And then all the kids
They're all sleeping.
Yeah. And the one guy's like, "What the hell's wrong with these kids?"
Yeah.
And he's like, then they realize, they're like, "Oh yeah, I dropped my pills inside the ecto cooler."
So the whole premise of the show is the dude's a professional chef,
Yes.
good chef in a high-end restaurant.
Yes.
Tragic accident or
Wow.
tragedies happens.
You find out the first episode. His
Yeah,
brother
the first
kills.
episode's a little bit of mayhem.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first episode I was kind of like, am I really? I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
And then it all comes
Yeah.
together. But
See, he's forced to basically take over his deceased brother's restaurant
which was
that was left to him.
an Italian beef restaurant in Chicago.
Yeah, like
Remember Italian beef
Pit beef. Yeah.
with like the jardiniere. and dipped in the au
Which
jus.
apparently it's based off a real spot.
Yeah, I did read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was on some kind of news, or I don't know if it was Sunday Morning or one of those things. You know, they were actually visited the spot and everything, or something of that sort. I forget where I watched it.
But he wants to incorporate more because he's a professional chef. He's an executive chef. He wants to incorporate more. And then the people that work there already are kind of like, the one lady first in the beginning, she's like, no, speak English. He's like, we were just having a conversation 10 minutes ago. You speak perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yes. And he basically is coming from a less chaotic situation, working in these professional-run restaurants, into complete chaos.
Yeah.
And what he's trying to do is bring some stabilization, some regularity, where it's not as chaotic. And like John said, yes, he wants to bring in some new things and try new things. And but then like his best friend, so he calls cousin.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, actually,
My favorite character.
It was his brother's actually best friend that So they butted heads a lot, and he's like, "What? It's been working. Why do you have to come in here and start changing things?" And just to see it from being restaurant guys and seeing how it is there, it's pretty accurate, I would say. It's pretty accurate how things go, and they did a great job with it. And as you can see recently,
It won a lot of Emmys, a lot of Golden Globes, a lot of
Emmys,
awards.
Golden Globes. The lead actor, now he's doing like underwear,
Is
Calvin
he?
Klein
Yeah, he's a
things.
good-looking dude. Was Jeremy Allen White? Is that his name?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Jeremy Allen White. Yeah.
And then the girl's name was
Ayo Edebiri.
Yes. So they.
So she was like I guess a chef herself, and a student.
In real life?
No.
Oh.
In the show.
Oh, all right.
And I guess she heard he was taking over working there because she was a fan of him.
Yes, she was a fan of him.
So she tried to get a job, and he hired her.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the staff gave her a lot of shit, and because she's coming in out of the blue, and
Yes,
now he's giving her permission to make calls.
she was like the sous chef, I guess, and she was on the same page as him because they came from culinary backgrounds and everything, and she could have got a job basically anywhere, but she said, I'm a huge fan of you, as I know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm coming here because of you, and so she did a great job with that. And she won an Emmy. But here's the thing though with that, and with the Emmys, it won Best Comedy Series or something like that, and that throws me off a little bit.
I was thinking about that
Yeah.
actually right now because
Yeah.
we talked about it beforehand. The first season I could see it was more comedic, more funny. The second season was more dramatic.
Yeah.
And serious.
Yeah.
And all these awards that they won were for the second season, I believe.
I guess it would have been because that was the one that was up. It's every year, right?
That's what makes it strange.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them. The main character got the best actor for a comedy.
Yeah.
The guy who played Cousin won Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
The girl won Best Supporting Actress. Best Comedy Show, Director, Writer. They like swept, man. They were.
But yes, but with once again, going back to, I almost feel like there was another show for Best Drama Series or something that they said, well, we want to spread these categories out, so let's just throw them in the comedy one.
Because somebody else they want somebody else to win the drama series.
Yeah.
Who won the drama?
I don't know.
So yeah, I can see what you're saying.
I mean, The Crown was up there. Ted Lasso was nominated for some things too. There was a few shows out there that were pretty good.
Yeah, Ted Lasso. That would probably be a.
Have you watched Ted Lasso?
No, I don't have Apple.
All right,
but
when you think Jason Sudeikis, you think comedy. Yes, there are some funny parts, but it's not. It's not the role.
Okay.
That you would think that he's not.
No, it's not. He's not funny, right?
He's
funny, but he's not supposed to be like a comedian.
No, he's very
funny.
wholesome.
Yeah.
Very wholesome. But
So Succession
won
all the drama,
yeah,
which is honestly also one of my favorite shows. I don't know if you
never
watched
it. No,
so good.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
So
but now
good.
it's over, right?
Yeah. The whole series is over. Kieran Culkin, Macaulay Culkin's brother, won Best Actor for that, and he deserved it, man.
Yeah, it was good.
Watch it, dude.
Yeah,
watch it. I think I'll give you my HBO or whatever.
You're saying that Fuller won Best?
Is he Fuller? He was Fuller?
Yeah.
I thought it was the other. Yeah, I guess it was Fuller.
I think he was Fuller, yeah, in Home Alone, the little brother with the glasses that wet the bed.
But he was so good in it.
Yeah.
He was so good in it.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Really
What
good
is
show.
that on? It's probably on.
It's HBO.
Yeah, I don't have HBO.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
why
give,
I
I'll give
haven't
you
watched
my. I'll give you my.
That's all right.
I pay for it. Might as well share the wealth.
I'll share the bourbon. You share the
yeah.
shows.
Well, it was really good though.
Yeah.
It is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have you heard of it. Do you know what it's about?
Nah.
I mean, the whole premise of the show is
it's like a family thing. Or
the
something?
guy's like the multi guy who owns like all the stations and radio and news and TV.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for him to kind of like not die, but start giving the company off to like his kids. You know what I mean? And then he spites them and he's like, I'm not giving you anything. I'm staying around. And then they go crazy and they start a war between the kids and the father. And it's a great, great show.
What's that guy's name? Oh, the old guy.
Yeah, I forgot. Billy?
Well, anyway,
Madison?
they asked him, they were interviewing him. They're like, are you going to miss it? He's like, no. He's like, no. He's like, I'm looking forward to spending time with my wife and whatever, you know. He's like, am I going to miss it? No, I mean, do I?
Oh, not too much.
He's like, I miss my wife, so he's like, I like to spend time with her. Oh, yeah, just a wee bit.
Ooh, boy. So we're doing 2 bourbons. Look what happened.
Well, this is more of a sip.
Yeah, it's more of a compare-contrast.
Yes, so this was, we're comparing what we just had, that which is a cigar batch.
Oh, this is the rum barrel one?
No, that's what we're going to be doing the next time.
Gotcha.
This is just a one. We've had this on our podcast here before. It's bourbon whiskey finished in Brazilian Amburana barrels. This one, I felt it was more true to that cigar taste. I
think that Amburana helps though with that cigar taste.
It might.
It's that big red cinnamon taste.
But I got more of that distinct smokiness when I have this one here.
You know, I got a soft spot for the Amburana. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You taste cigar, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely more cigar-y.
100%.
Yeah. And this one, although, all right, if I were to say drink them both side by side, and I said, which one would you think would you declare a cigar bourbon? I would say the Starlight. But which one overall is better? I think the Joseph Magnus, only because this doesn't linger as much. I feel like it doesn't sit on my palate as much, you know? Like this one, I feel like that.
Yeah, this doesn't sit on your palate as much.
Yeah.
But the flavor is outstanding.
The flavor is very good. So as far as flavor goes, the Amburana, but as far as overall complexity, as far as the depth and how it sits in your mouth, how it lingers, the aroma, everything, I think I would go for something like the Magnus.
No, I mean, the Joey Mags isn't bad, but I am definitely going with the Starlight all day.
Yeah, you like that Starlight.
I do.
Wait till you have the rum one.
Starlight, so bright. Why
do we have to sing everything?
Oh, yeah. You might be my lucky star.
But yeah, good for the bear. We're happy to see them.
Yeah,
there.
my favorite episode was season 2, the Christmas Eve episode.
Oh, with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Bro, all the people that were Sarah Paulson was in that. Bob Odenkirk. There were so many people in that episode. It was such a good, and it shows you why they're all freaking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
They're all out of their minds. It was such a chaotic episode.
The anxiety I was feeling. I was
like, throw the fork at me again. Throw the fork at me again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
she cooked all the food, and then everything was nice, and it all turned to shit.
But you can see why he turned out the way he is.
A nutcase. And he wanted to get away. He went from Chicago to New York to get away from all the crazies.
Yes, I felt so bad for him, his character. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
But how about when they're in a restaurant, he gets locked in the freezer?
No, that's the season finale.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then he gets into that fight with Cuz.
Yeah.
And that gave me anxiety, too, because I'm like, these dudes are going to say something that I need to see how they're going to repair this. And they did. They went nuts on each other.
Yeah.
I can't wait for season 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good. There's a lot of good shows out lately, but let's talk more on it in a second.
Yeah.
Let's do some beers, man.
Yeah, let's go to beers because you painted double tap on your body.
I told John
because you went there.
I told John. I said I said I bought a shirt that's a couple sizes. Like I'm deceived because it's kind of tight on me, and I usually get a certain size. I don't have to reveal, but I usually get a certain size, and I got that size.
And you went with the kids small. Did your wife?
I gave her some already. Yeah.
So we'll just.
Well, whatever.
Not as much as I thought it was going to be.
Cool.
All right, so you were kind enough to bring back a crowler.
Yes.
And this is called Low Hanging Fruit.
Yeah.
It is an IPA. Unfortunately, oh, nope, there it is. 5.7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a lower one.
I like that.
Yeah, I was like, it's a crowler.
Looking at it, I wasn't expecting 5.7.
Yeah. So here's the thing, dude. I haven't tried this one yet. This is one that wasn't there? I didn't get on draft when I was there.
So this is going to be a hit or miss right now.
It might be. And what was the name of this one again?
Low hanging balls, low hanging fruit.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Double tap. They're fairly new.
What was your experience there? Well, let's try it first. I want to hear about it.
Okay, let's try it.
Let's try it.
Cheers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And at that ABV for that kind of flavor,
hell yeah.
It's good.
And they're new?
They're about maybe a year or something.
Wow. I like this a lot.
Yeah, they're fairly new. They're out of Whippany, New Jersey, and
all right, that's not too far from here. That's not too far from where I work.
No, it's not super far. And nice people. John and I, if you watch our clip, I think we have it on Instagram, a clip of us when we were at the Jersey City Beer Festival.
Brewology last year?
No,
the one we just went to.
The one we just went to.
Yes, that's right. They were there.
They were there, and I talked to the guy, and I said, I got to check it out. And I ran into him. I said,
Same
I'm like,
dude?
Yeah, I said, hey, I remember you from the Jersey City Beer
That's right.
Festival. Yeah. And I told him then, I was like, I got to check out the spot. I'll do it eventually. And it was like a Saturday or something, and I was like,
yeah, you text us all and you said, hey, anybody want to meet us? I'm taking the fam. We're going out for the day.
We haven't done a brewery as a freaking family.
I think I had basketball or something. I don't know. My weekends are like
Let me tell you, man,
non-existent.
The landscape of breweries has changed so much.
No.
There was, all right. Here's the thing, and we've talked about this before. I brought my kid. My kid he'll sit there. He doesn't run around. He'll sit there. And if he's about to run around or something, there's always an activity he can do. We usually try to push the drawing on him.
Okay.
We have our complete backup is like we have a little game he can play.
Okay.
A little handheld game that he can play. That's like the backup if it's really getting whatever. But he's pretty content, with just coloring and doing things or whatever. And my wife and I will, have our beers. But like there was a lot of kids there. It was like a kid's birthday party, and there was this one woman that she had her baby in one of those like sling things. I think she did 35 laps around the place.
Yeah.
And she kept
if I can sleep.
like she just kept walking and when some people just walk by or whatever, like she was like on our table every time she walked by, and I'm kind of like, all right, this is a little bit too much in my face, this stuff,
I want to divulge more into that. I want to get back to this because the other day something happened.
At me now.
As well. All right. Love this beer. Double tap. You have a clip. We'll put it on our Instagram page.
We're gonna put the clip on our Instagram page. You guys
at Speakeasy Podcast, guys.
Check. Yeah.
Cool place. I haven't seen the clip yet. I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, it's a cool brewery, and like I said, I was thoroughly impressed for a brewery of that age to be producing what they're producing.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good beers there, and they're doing great work, and they obviously know what they're doing, and it's a cool spot.
Yeah.
Nice location right there. Not too crazy. I think there's a pizza place across the street if you want to grab some pizza or something. There's a lot going on there, and I think it was like an old post office actually or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they do any outside stuff, you think, when the spring and summer comes? Did you notice? If
That's
there was...
a good question because we didn't really pay attention to anything outside. We just kind of walked right in. But because it was a parking lot, I'm sure that maybe they do something, And
well, maybe in the spring we'll have to go back and we have a lot of spots where we kind of want to go to and actually do a show from there. So once the springtime comes,
and now with the New Jersey, the law passed.
Yes, we should talk about that next episode.
Okay,
let's talk about that.
Okay,
we'll bring that up because some cool things are happening with the brewery.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll get out on the next episode.
But I want to tell you, I was at Tommy's Tap and Tavern in Clifton the other night.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I've been there,
and we were enjoying our meal. It was my wife, my 2 kids, and there was a family of about maybe 10 people with a bunch of little kids.
Yeah,
but they let the kids just do whatever they want.
Oh, God.
Right? And one kid was really small, and she let the kid walk. It looks like the kid almost just learned to walk.
Yeah.
And the kid's just walking, going in between tables, going around.
Yeah.
Go by the kitchen, and then she'll pick her up, put it down, and everything's all funny.
Yeah.
And I was starting to
getting anxiety.
I was getting anxiety, but I was starting to get mad.
Yeah.
Like every time this kid would walk around, like they were just walking past, and then they look at you and what you're eating, and the kid, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
This is a restaurant.
Yes.
This is not a playground for your kid. This is not where you teach your kid to walk.
Yeah.
This is not. You don't just follow your kid around and let them do whatever they want. People are here to dine. They're here with their families. They're here with their friends.
But
there was a football game going on.
Yeah.
This is not a place for you to just walk around with your kid aimlessly and let them. No. If your kid can't sit still,
well, that's the new generation.
Give them
of
an
parenting.
activity like you said. Or finish your meal and go the fuck home.
Yeah.
Because they weren't done. They were just hanging out.
The only time I'll say that it's ever happened to me where my kid walked around a little bit is when we were the only ones in the restaurant. Right. Which has happened before.
This was a packed restaurant. I waited 30 minutes just to sit down.
No, because it's a hazard. It's a hazard.
It's a hazard. Even looking at the employees, they're trying to get by. They're holding plates. They're holding things.
Yeah.
And they're like waiting for the
That's
kid
why
to
I said,
move,
did you get
and
anxiety? Like this kid's going to get run over or
I
something.
wanted to ask my waitress and be like, does that piss you off? But my wife's like, don't say anything. Because I was starting to get really mad.
Yeah.
Every time the kid walked by me, then the lady would bump by the table. Yeah. It's tight. It was packed in there. Yeah. And my wife's like, don't say anything. Yeah. Just relax and blah, blah, blah. And it was really pissing me off. Because I never did that shit with my kids.
Yeah.
You sit down.
Yeah. You sit down.
Sit down.
And that's what I've said.
When we're done, we'll leave if you're getting antsy.
If my kid doesn't sit right, I'm like, we're in a restaurant. Sit right.
But they thought it was okay for 2 or 3 little kids.
But do you know why they think it's okay?
To just walk around.
Do you know why?
Each table.
One of the reasons why is because they think their kid is the cutest thing in the universe, and they think that everyone else thinks
it wasn't cute. It wasn't fun. It wasn't cute.
And that's the thing.
It was pissing me off.
That's the thing. People, because they know that they think their kid's so cute and so whatever, they think they'll get away with anything. I just want to be like, your kid's ugly. Tell him to sit down.
Put a fucking towel over his head. No.
Yeah. But
I was just watching the food runners and the waitresses. I was watching their faces, and I'm like, they're starting to get pissed, but they can't say anything. They're not allowed to.
Yeah. I was pretty strict with stuff when I had my restaurant.
God.
My last place in Cranford with people with dogs. So I had people.
Fucking dogs are everywhere.
I had people, and now we're in a restaurant, and I had people come in with their dog. And they walk in, and it's New Jersey, pretty strict with certain things and what is allowed and what's not allowed. And I would say, I'm like, you can't have your dog in here. I'm like,
good.
I'm like, and I'll tell them.
Good.
I'm like, it's health code, everything. I'm like, I have dogs. They piss sometimes. They shit sometimes. It happens. They bark sometimes. They
leave that fucker in the car and take your shit to go.
People have allergies.
Yes, that's my big thing, allergies. Because I'm allergic to dogs.
Yeah.
And if... not crazy, but it could affect me, and then I want to enjoy myself.
Yes.
I don't want to sit next to a dog.
Yes, and now. So I would tell people kindly, if it was the winter, tough luck. I'm sorry you can't have it in here. Summer, I had the patio seating. If you want to have
that's
them
a different
outside,
story.
If you want them outside,
if you have an outside seating,
yes,
bring your dog.
I said if they're fine, then that's fine. Then you had some people. Oh, it's a service dog or whatever.
Well, that's the new thing.
Yeah.
Everything's a service dog.
Yeah. Oh.
It could be a little fucking chihuahua. It's a service
I don't
dog.
give a shit too. I say, can I see your service
Oh,
certificate?
you're not allowed to ask.
Yeah. Oh, I did.
No. Oh, you're not allowed to ask.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. No. That's the new thing now. You're not allowed to ask.
I didn't care. You know. I'm like, if you don't, I'm like, listen, if you're that ticked off that I don't want animals in my restaurant, then just don't come back.
Anybody can go and label their dog as a service animal, and you're not allowed to ask.
Yeah.
I can get a little chihuahua and be like, he knows when I have diarrhea. He's going to alert me if I'm about to have diarrhea.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I can fucking bring him wherever I want.
Yeah.
We were in the American Dream Mall. I saw more dogs than fucking people. It was insane.
Although in breweries, though, it seems like it's a lot more common. But breweries, you're not necessarily, especially in New Jersey, their food's not allowed. So I guess it's not as bad, you know.
I don't mind the dogs in the brewery sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a couple breweries that I love to frequent, and they say they have the outside area. Dogs are on the outside. Don't bring them in.
Yeah.
And then once the winter comes, the dogs are in the inn because the outside's closed.
Yeah.
And they kind of just let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly get that. If you have a good dog,
yes,
I get that.
Well,
I'd rather see a dog than a fucking kid sometimes.
Well, that's the thing. Here's the
The
interesting.
dog's not running around like a maniac.
And you know, when I was at this brewery, I saw someone had their dog on the couch. They have couches. They had dogs sitting on the couch, and I'm like, you know, there's a fine. and from their perspective as owners, you're kind of like, what are you gonna do? You know, I understand. I completely understand. But once again, you get someone who, like my neighbor's allergic to the saliva on dogs. So if a dog licks him, he gets bad reaction. So if a dog's licking part of the leather couch or doing something, and he sits on it or something of that sort.
Well, you advised me about that, right? Because I'm talking about getting a dog.
Yeah.
And I need a hypoallergenic dog.
Yeah.
And you're like, but just be careful because some people are allergic to not just the fur, they're allergic to the saliva.
Yes.
So
yes.
I don't know.
Well, the way you find out is you have a couple dogs. I have my two dogs sitting over here on the couch. You can have them lick you if you want.
Yeah. They do. Trust me, they do.
And if you haven't gotten anything yet, you should be.
I actually
all right.
haven't. I'm pretty good with your dogs.
Yeah.
Pretty good with your dogs.
Yeah. The one first time I had my neighbor here, and I was like, "Dude, I have dogs." He's like, "Yeah, I'm allergic, but so." I'm like, "So when he comes here, we sit at the bar because the dogs can't jump on him or anything of that sort."
He's like,
"Yeah, I know.
I'm good."
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I was pretty swollen. My eye was swollen or something when he left or something. Something happened. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. So I work the company I work for. It's in pharmaceuticals, and we have we distribute the Flonase. So I get it really cheap.
Do you really?
Yeah.
My wife uses Flonase like it's a.
Oh yeah, if you ever want some, I
yeah.
can always So you get it cheap and. I was bringing him Flonase back. I'm like,
That's
here,
funny.
man, here. I'm like, you use this stuff. He's like, hell yeah, I use this stuff, you know. So, and I gave him a couple boxes.
My wife uses Flonase more than I change my underwear.
Oh yeah, I gotta.
That's funny.
Hook you up with some Flonase, yeah. I give you some the Advil.
I love that stuff, man. I
Yeah.
take that like it's candy.
It was a dual action one.
The dual action.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, but that's life. That's life of being in the industry in the what would you call it?
I mean,
food,
the
entertainment,
food industry. I mean, you know, whether you're a server
food and beverage.
at Tommy's Tap and Tavern and
Yeah.
you're getting pissed at the kids and you can't say anything,
Yeah.
or you're an owner,
Yeah.
and you know, as an owner though, we were pretty. We didn't let shit fly, right?
No. I remember the one time. I don't know if I was working with you or who I was working with. Some guy ordered buffalo wings. He comes back with just the bones on the plate, puts it on the counter, and says, I didn't like them. He's like, can I have my money back? And I looked at the guy. Apparently you did like them, didn't you? If you ate there's just bones here. I'm like, get out of here. You're not getting any money back. You know?
Yeah. I was a pretty shitty owner because I didn't take shit. Like, I just didn't. There were certain people you want to make things right, and there's certain people like that that are stupid. Listen, the customer's not always right.
No.
I don't care what they say. That's the mantra in the restaurant business. The customer is not always right.
Yeah.
Sometimes the customer can be an asshole.
Yeah.
And you got to call him out for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if it was with you. We were at A1 Pizza. We used to go. This pizza place was open super
Like
late.
3 a.m.
And I hear the owner on the phone with someone, and he's going, fuck you. And I go, and he's yelling at the guy and all this. And I don't know if it was you or who I was with, and I said, that guy's my personal hero.
Hell
right
yeah.
there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've got threatened to get beat up. I was whatever.
You get people who try to take advantage, and then you have the people who once something happens, and you're like, all right, that's a legitimate thing. Yeah, sure, no problem, whatever. Or some things, get away. Yeah. We're not going to dive into those details too much. I think on why people want them.
Hell, I had a lady miss the toilet when she was doing number 2.
Yeah.
But I didn't clean it up. I was the owner. I pay people to do that.
You said you went to the...
I'll give you a 6-pack of beer if you just go inside and clean it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
There's other people that would do it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
$20. $20 right now.
There was the one.
Okay.
There was the. We had a tray of soda, like it was like a tube that went from our soda machine to like this big vat and stuff that sat there for like months, and you cleaned it every once in a while. And I used to who was it? Brian Van Houten. This one guy.
You don't name names.
Well,
You pay him money to drink it?
$10. I said, take a. I $10 if you drink that some of
Yeah.
the soda from the bottom thing. Or
You got to be entertained.
Yeah, and then the one time I told him
I had a guy do that with the fish tank.
fish tank water. Yes, the fish tank water. That was the other one. Yeah,
Timmy.
yeah. I give you $10. You drink the fish tank water.
Yeah.
That's when it was slower.
I think back now and I'm like, man, if I knew now what I knew then, I probably would be more successful because I was a kid too,
Yeah.
I was an asshole. We remember when I got into a fight with the dishwasher and we put his head in the dishwasher and we closed it and we turned it on. And he's like, it's hot. And I'm like, well, stop doing stupid shit.
Oh my God.
But they
I
were all
remember
cool.
that.
But they were all cool back then. Everybody was cool. There was no social media.
Yeah.
Nobody ratted you out.
Yeah.
It was
like a.
you respected the hard boss.
Yeah.
If you were a hard boss, you got respected.
Yeah.
Like if you were able to be walked on, you weren't respected.
We played spades in the corner.
Play spades in the corner. Chinese food every Sunday with football.
Thursdays were sub sandwiches.
Thursday night poker night. Thursday night poker night.
At my
miss those
place
days,
at
man.
Cedar Grove, I had the one guy. We did the gallon of milk challenge.
Ooh, yeah, we did that. Did not work.
Did not work. Never works.
And the cinnamon challenge did not work. No, good time.
So as you can see, when it comes back to the bear and the chaos and the structure, we were not as structured as we were mom and pop.
But your next restaurant, I think, worked out a little bit better for you until the Chinese pandemic came.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
The China virus.
I learned a lot from managing Panera Bread.
Yeah.
So the way they did things, the way they prep things, the way they structured things, the way they used their time and hours. So basically, we'd have 3 people sitting around in the corner doing nothing for 4 hours, and you're paying everyone to do that.
Yeah.
Like what I learned with Panera was we're very quick. Go home, go home, go home, go
Yeah.
home, and we sent everyone home basically.
I was the one who went home. I'm gonna go home and take a dump. I'm paying you guys good money to sit there.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a couple hours.
So you just to make your time, the worth. So we did a lot. So when I had my grilled cheese place, I did a lot more with timing and how everything worked and sending people home and all.
It's
that
funny because Ken opened up a grilled cheese shop, and I remember when you were doing it, you were like running it by everybody, and you were telling them your idea, and I was like, dude, that's never gonna work.
Oh.
A grilled cheese is that should be like a food truck. It's just a fad. It's never going to
I
work.
don't want to do food truck because of permits and all that stuff, and
But what you put out was really freaking good.
It was gourmet grilled cheese.
It was good. I went in there once and I had something with apples and brie.
Yeah,
and it was freaking good. And I'm like, this is great. And you
10
did pretty good.
10 different grilled cheese sandwiches, and then I'll throw a special in there once in a while. I did grilled cheese desserts with brie and strawberry and chocolate and all that stuff.
But see, that was the I want to say genius of it was that it was simple.
Yes.
They were gourmet, but it was simple because this is it.
Yes.
This is it.
But that's a thing that we had
we had Jim Danny's and we had 50 freaking
huge
things
menu.
on the
I didn't want a huge menu. I said I want to perfect maybe 15, 20 things on a menu. I had to have good French fries. I had good, just a good solid 5 appetizers, that worked. And if they didn't work, And that's the way it works with restaurants. If it doesn't work,
You take it off.
you take it off. You look at your system nowadays will tell you. Your POS will say what's your bottom sellers, and if it doesn't work, you always took them. You just all right. Let's scratch this. Let's scratch this. Let's scratch that. You try to do seasonal things. St. Patty's Day, you might want to do something with corned beef, or you want to do something, or not even just the day of, like that time, like the week of or the month of, and just kind of push it because people are like, oh, I'm going to move for corned beef. Or turkey. We did a turkey, brie, cranberry sauce, and then I got a stuffing crust on the bread and stuff, like a stuffing seasoned crust and everything, It was fun. But it's hard work.
It's hard work.
When you, like I say, back to the bear, when you watch that and you see what they're going through, the stress they're going through, and
it's real.
It is real. And the reward, the risk for the reward is not always that high.
It ages you. It messes with your health. So, even going back to like our last episode with the GoFundMe stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's hard work, man. And
yes.
if you can't put in the time, dude, don't try it.
And on the final note of this, I think, guys, is when you go out to eat, you see your server, you see your bartender, you see these people running these restaurants, give them a nod, say, I appreciate what you do, especially with all the shit with the pandemic recently. A lot of restaurants had to shut down. And a lot of people had to deal with a lot of headaches during that time because they were a lot of them had so many restrictions where they couldn't do certain things, and the people, the masses of people out there were scared. They weren't going to places. They weren't going out to eat. And these people who were barely making what it takes to make a living a lot of times. That's why a lot of places shut down. You got, like I said, give them a nod. These waiters, these waitresses,
take care of them.
Take care of them. Yeah, because they deal with a lot themselves. A lot of times, these people are just trying to make ends meet. So if you're gonna go out there, support them. And you'll see, you see a lot of towns. These
don't
places
forget about
don't
your mom
last.
and pop shops. Don't forget about your mom and pop shops.
Yeah, don't exactly. New Jersey's pretty good with mom and pop. We're a big mom and pop state.
Sometimes you don't go to Burger King or McDonald's. Hit the mom and pop up shop. If you want a good burger, or help them out too.
And keep in mind this too. And just a quick side note, because I know we got to finish this up. They don't make it easy for us, for small business owners out there. They don't make it easy when they want us, restaurant owners, to pay someone who is in college or in high school $15 an hour or whatever it is, because that's the way they want to do things nowadays and decide what these owners can pay their workers when they say it's got to be a living wage. But what 16, 17, 18-year-old needs that living wage right now? Do they really need that so that you're going to put a restaurant out of business because they have to pay whatever amount of money and they're only making whatever amount of money? And the ones that do it right and they do pay their, don't be surprised when you start going to restaurants and a burger is $25 because they have to. So keep this in mind too. It's not fair to these owners, and it's not fair that they're trying to, the government is trying to say what they have to pay and everything of that sort. Listen, man, we're not talking slave labor here. We're talking people working, cashiers that are making tips a lot of times too, which you always got to take into consideration. Which I think the rule's a little bit different with that, but
whether or not they make cash or check, they're getting taxed on it too.
Yeah,
it's not like you're giving a tip and they're putting in their pocket.
Which
they're still getting taxed on it.
Which makes you wonder: are they saying that they want them to make more money because more taxes are coming to them? Because now the percentage of tax, so the percent of, say it's 10% of someone's paycheck goes, and if they're making $300 a week doing just to get a little extra cash as a cashier. Now they're making $500 a week. So now the government is getting a higher percentage back in their pocket because they're still getting their 10% on $500 as opposed to $300. Yeah. So there's different ways to look at it. Yeah. It's kind of messed up, at least around us. They kept doing it. And
we like to go out to eat, so we're good tippers because we've been there, we've done that. And we're not saying, listen, if you can't afford it, you give what you can afford.
Yeah.
Just take care of your servers
Yeah.
and your bartenders and your whatever. Just hit up those mom and pop shops.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go.
Shout out today, Joey Mags, Joseph Magnus.
Right? Double tap.
Double tap.
Whippany. Yeah.
My glass. Shout out to my sister's boyfriend who got me this Speakeasy podcast glass, established in 2021, aged to perfection. Cheers to Ken and John.
And we want to also give a
and
shout out.
I'm keeping this here, so if you ever want to this is part of our thing now.
All right. So also, I want to give a shout out to one of our fans. Do you remember specifically?
Yeah. So we got a new subscriber, and he's been leaving a few comments, and we really appreciate it. It's East Coast LQ Reviews on YouTube. He does what we do, but in a different capacity. He'll do one beer, and he'll review it, and he goes deep into it.
Yeah.
He'll do a bourbon.
Yeah, he's pretty legit with it. Yeah,
pretty legit. Good short 6, 7, 8 minute videos.
Yeah, you're not sitting there for an hour like when you watch us.
For us, like he probably who knows if he's even going to see this because he might be like, I can't last this long.
He clicked off before that.
I can't last this long.
But he said some very nice, kind words, and he's been watching our episodes, and we said we want to give you a shout out and everything. Yeah. So
East Coast LQ Reviews on YouTube.
Yeah, check him out. Subscribe to his page.
And Instagram, and subscribe to us.
Yeah. Yeah, and comment like he's doing.
We're getting closer and closer to 1,000.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Almost there.
John, cheers.
Cheers, Ken.
As always, cheers to you guys.
Peace.
All right.